This is a point where we have Christian Alshon and Andre Descu serving to Ben Johns and Hayden Patriquin down on the bottom side down here. Christian Alshon is going to start off this point by serving the ball down the tee to Hayden Patriquin's backhand, and Hayden is going to go ahead and return the ball back pretty deep to about there in the court and start to make his way up to the kitchen line. This is a pretty basic start to a point, nothing super special here, but it's interesting how this ended up playing out because Christian hit his serve pretty deep, pretty aggressive, like it was a good serve, and Hayden hit sort of a mediocre return. It was deep, but it wasn't like super aggressive back to them. He was just trying to get it up and deep into the court so he could make his way up to the kitchen line. So it was successful, he ended up doing that, but what is going to end up happening is Andre Descu is going to see a great opportunity to do something aggressive with this next ball, and they're actually going to run a play called the shake and bake. Hey, real quick, before we get back to the video, I just want to let you know about something really interesting that we're doing in the year 2025. Every month in 2025, we're going to be giving away one of our signature paddles, the Spin Boss Pro. So if you're interested in winning one of these for free, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to always be notified when we upload a new video. With that said, let's get back to the video. Now, you've probably heard of the shake and bake before. It's a pretty common, more well-known play, but this is basically what they're going to do here. So Hayden is going to continue to move up to the kitchen line right here. Andre Descu is going to take this ball that has now bounced and he's going to hit a drive. Now, this drive, it's really interesting. He doesn't hit this drive at 100% power. He hits it at about 60% power because he knows with the depth of this ball, he's not gonna be able to do something where he's just gonna be able to hit a flat out clean winner on either of these two players down here. That's just not what's going to happen. Because the ball is so deep, he has no really ability to do anything like that because of the hands of these players down here. So instead, he's using this drive as a setup shot for his partner, Christian Alshon, to then come in and crash. So that's exactly what ends up happening. He's gonna go ahead and take this ball right here, and he's going to drive it to Hayden Patriquin's forehand. It's important to note where Andre Descu ended up hitting this drive to Hayden Patriquin down there. He actually ended up hitting it to the body of Hayden, which made Hayden sort of make a choice about which stroke he's going to hit it with, whether his forehand or his backhand. That's a really good idea because if you're making him make a choice, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to do anything offensive with that drive that you just gave him. Not to mention the drive that he hit was pretty low and it was actually dipping, so it was gonna be hard to do anything offensive anyways, but even more so when you make him make a choice about what stroke, forehand or backhand, he's going to hit it with. So Christian Alshon recognizes this, and it's super important now to realize what Christian Alshon does and where he positions himself based off of where Andre Descu hit the drive. Because it's to Hayden Patriquin's forehand side, Christian Alshon is going to move in and he's going to straddle the middle of the court. He's looking for any ball that he can touch here. So if it ends up going this direction that way, he's there, he's moving there on his backhand. If it ends up going behind him, he's going back on his forehand. But this is really important because in order to execute the shake and bake properly, the person who's moving up looking for the poach has to know where they're going. And in this scenario, it was important to funnel in, if you're Christian Alshon, from the baseline, it's important to funnel in to the direction of the ball. So moving in from this area down into the middle of the court because the ball is on the right side of the court where Christian Alshon is moving to poach maybe this part of the court over here. He's still able to cover the back over here, but it's a much harder shot for Hayden to hit. And you actually see this play out in the actual point. Hayden ends up hitting a ball and he tries to go behind Christian Alshon, but because of the lowness and the dip on the drive that Andre Descu hit, Hayden isn't actually able to get this ball down enough, and Christian Alshon is just gonna step over really easily and hit the ball down and ends up hitting Ben's paddle and not going over. Sort of a forced error there from Ben Johns. But excellent play by this team up here, executing the shake and bake really, really well. Love to see it from that team. The important things to take away from this point were the fact that Andre Descu hit a sort of medium-paced drive that was low and dipped into the court, and Christian Alshon funneled into the perfect place on the court so that way he could poke anything that he could touch for a winner. If you're Hayden Patriquin in this example and you want to get out of this sort of sticky situation that you put yourself in and not play into your opponent's shake and bake, a great way to do this is to not try and do anything super fancy with the drive that was hit to you. Instead, hit a reset or hit a neutral counter back to Andre Descu and let him come in and claim the net. That way you're in a neutral position instead of being in an offensive position Hayden ended up going for the hero shot here and went to try and put it behind Christian. And because of the really good drive from Andreescu, he left it too high and Christian was able to pounce on that ball and hit it down for a winner. So excellent play with these guys up here. Love to see it from them and always love to see a good shake and bake. Hey, real quick, if you really like learning about a designed play within pickleball and you're interested to learn more about how you can apply designed plays into your pickleball game today, then I have something really interesting that I want you to check out, and that is the Doubles Playbook. Because within the Doubles Playbook, we go over 30 different situational plays within the game of pickleball so that you'll never be lacking in any area of the strategy of pickleball. Each play has a diagram, a little description, and a QR code up in the top right, so that way you can go over and learn about each individual play as we break it down on our handy dandy whiteboard back here. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, I want you to click the link in the description below to check out the Doubles Playbook today.